The movie starts in the desert of West Africa, where we see a man covered his face, named Lieutenant Brian Murphy Freeman, a United States Air Force engineer who is the sole survivor of a plane crash that is due to fly out of Africa. He sees a mutilated zombie and shoots him dead with his gun and takes bullets and money from the zombie's pocket. The scene shifts to a plane, where we see Brian traveling with soldiers. Another soldier is severely injured and his fiancée is crying. The soldier turns into a zombie in no time and bites another soldier. The infected soldier shoots the zombie soldier and then himself because he will soon turn into a zombie. The plane loses its engines and crashes in a desert. Following that, we see a village where zombies have attacked the entire town, and everyone is rushing to find a safe place to avoid the zombies. At the same time, we see a terrified woman with her child trapped in a house, and although she successfully sends her child to the soldiers, a zombie attacks her. In the following scene, we see the crashed plane, in which Brian and some other soldiers survive. In the morning, Brian, along with two soldiers, is seen sailing on a wooden box toward the shore. One of the soldiers is infected, while the other runs away shooting the zombies, leaving Brian alone among the zombies, though Brian asks him to stop. While Brian is trying to unlock the wooden box with a stone, the zombies start eating the infected soldier. Before the zombies can get near Brian, he takes out a gun from the box and shoots them while running away. Next, we see a soldier named Daniel Dembele, who returns to his village and finds the corpses everywhere. We also learn that the child that the soldiers had rescued is his son. Daniel cries upon seeing his empty hut. He learns from an old infected lady before she dies that his son is still alive, whom the military took to its base. While he is still there, he sees a zombie coming toward him, and he shoots him in the head. On the other hand, we see Brian go through the forest and wear a military uniform. While he is running through the forest, a zombie attacks him, but he shoots the zombie in the head, causing his death. He reaches a village and sees an old car, but it does not start. Some zombies attack him while he is busy fueling the car and changing its tires, but he kills them with his gun. When they hear the sound of the bullets, all the zombies rush towards him. He quickly changes the tires and tries to start the car. Fortunately, the car gets started and pulls away, overtaking a zombie along the way. While taking a bottle of water from the zombie's holster and drinking it, he notices some zombies approaching him. As he is traveling on the bumpy road, his car hits a stone and gets trapped. When he comes out of the car, he sees zombies surrounding him from all sides. Although he kills some of the zombies with his gun, the bullets run short, and the zombies besiege him. Before the zombies can kill him, Daniel comes for his help and kills all the zombies with his gun. Daniel asks Brian if he is infected, and he replies no. He tells Brian to sit in the car and that he will push from behind. A little further, Brian stops and comes back to Daniel. Daniel and Brian sit in the car and go ahead. Brian tells Daniel that he is a mechanical engineer and their plane had crashed. He asks him if there is any better road to travel on. But Daniel replies that all the roads are blocked because the zombies have killed everyone. Daniel tells him he was deployed to protect people but left his duty to save his child and wife. Brian asks him about any airport, and he answers that American bombs destroyed airports in West Africa. Daniel agrees to lead Brian to the airport on one condition. Once they reach the airport, he will give him the car to find his son. On the other hand, we see a convoy of military vehicles patrolling the roads and killing zombies. They see a shouting woman who is asking for help, and they take her inside the truck while killing other infected women. Daniel and Brian reach a small town and enter an abandoned house with dead bodies laying outside. While they are trying to see inside a room through a window, they confront zombies, but they kill them with their guns. Inside the room, they see a lantern and book covered in blood on the table. They take some medicines from the house and move ahead. They stop the car in the middle of the forest and walk the rest of the distance. Eventually, they reach the airport. Inside the airport, they see dead bodies, and Brian goes into a dark room where a zombie attacks him. He climbs upstairs and sees a dead soldier in the room. While Brian is finding equipment to start the plane, a zombie attacks him, but Brian crashes his head against the wall. Next, he finds a radio, which he uses to contact his companions in America, but the radio is not working. Daniel, on the other hand, fills a can with gasoline from a big tank. They take the fuel can to the car, which they have parked at a distance from the airport. After that, Brian tells Daniel that there is nothing useful at the airport. Daniel asks Brian to go with him to the military base where he can find something to contact his counterparts in America. At night, while they are fueling the car, zombies again attack them, but Daniel kills them with a dagger. After that, they leave for the military base in the car, and Brian tells Daniel that he needs some food and water to survive. During their journey towards the military base, Brian feels tired as he has been waking up continuously for some nights. Daniel gets in the driver's seat and drives the car for the rest of the journey while Brian sleeps. The next day, they reach a village, where some military personnel approach them and interrogate where they are going. Daniel introduces Brian to the soldier and requests to enter and stay in their camp because they have nothing to eat and Brian has a fever. The man then sends his companions to lead them to their huts. Daniel and Brian see people sitting around huts, some crying for their loved ones and others sitting silent. The soldiers are piling up dead bodies and set them on fire so that these dead bodies don't become zombies. While they are sitting around the bonfire, the soldier asks Daniel if he has a family, and Daniel shows him a picture of his family that he found in a hut. Daniel asks the man why they did not go to a military base, and he replies that he was born in that place and will die there too. The man tells Brian that a week ago a woman saw her father walking in the forest at night. He had been killed a day before. Since the death of that man, the zombies have started coming to their village. He further tells Daniel that their village is fortunate enough to have military protection from zombies. The man tells Brian that the zombies may represent God's wrath against them and that man's greed has devoured the earth. He says nature is restoring its delicate balance. Daniel sees a boy who brings the memory of his own son to mind. Brian has a dream at night where he sees himself dressed in a white military uniform coming to visit his family and meeting his wife and daughter, who are also dressed in white. Daniel wakes Brian up and asks him to go to the military base now that his fever has gone. They sit in the car in the morning and drive to their destination while black families stare at them. Owing to overspeed, the car gets heated, and Daniel stops the car in an open area. While Brian is fixing the engine, they see zombies coming toward them. But they have heated arguments when Brian is putting the remaining water in the car's engine and they start their journey again. As they travel ahead, they see a tube well of water. At first they are reluctant to drink because they fear that the zombies have infected it, but later both drink it and start their journey. At night, when Brian is driving the car, he hits it with a zombie, and the car loses balance and gets trapped inside the bushes. When Daniel asks Brian to turn on the lights of the car, they find a lot of zombies standing in front of them. While shooting the zombies, they flee taking the necessary equipment from the car. Fearing zombies, they tie a string around themselves and tie a steel box on it to alert them if anyone crosses the string. They then kill an animal and have their dinner while chit-chatting. While they are sleeping, the zombies attack and Daniel gets injured. Brian puts him on his shoulder and takes him away after killing the zombies. Daniel asks Brian to kill him, as he is infected now and will soon turn into a zombie. Unwillingly, Brian shoots him and moves ahead alone. Next, while he is walking in the desert, he sees an old, lame-footed lady with a child in her arms, followed by zombies. Somehow, she reaches Brian and hands over her baby to him while asking him to shoot her as she is infected by the zombies. He shoots her and carries her baby with him. A little later, he sees a car full of people, and he hands them the baby and goes his way. As the night approaches, Brian climbs a tree and spends the whole night on the tree. The next day, he continues his journey on foot and reaches a place where he sees skyrocketed rocks. He climbs the rock to avoid zombies, and on the other side of the rock, he sees the same desert that we have seen at the start of the movie. When he is losing hope, he catches a glimpse of an air base and makes it toward it. Unfortunately, the base is surrounded by zombies, but he kills them all one by one and enters the base. The people inside the base see Brian, who is dressed in a black robe, and breathe a sigh of relief, thinking American soldiers have come for their help. They give Brian water, and he asks if there are any aircraft in the base, but they say there aren't because everything is supplied by road. Brian contacts an American airbase via an outdated radio and asks for an airplane to take them out of the zombie trap. The officer from the base responds that they cannot send any airplanes to West Africa because the zombies have also attacked the base. In the meantime, zombies break the wall and attack the people inside the base. After the zombies are gone, Daniel's son, who has escaped from the zombies, approaches Brian. And the movie ends here. If you like our effort, please subscribe to our channel and leave a comment. It encourages us to make more content for you. Also, please hit the bell icon so that you don't miss our new videos.